Awesome. And we are on the air with Evan Jones, who we were just talking about weather in Kansas. And he has blue skies, and he's sacrificing his little patch of blue sky tonight for his Challenge 23 and the unveiling of his website, The Rustic Lens. How are you doing tonight, Evan?
Thanks.
Cool. You're always so laid back and calm. It's all like you're not nervous or anything like that, right?
A little bit. I don't really like the sound of my voice and everything on video, but I'm not listening to it, so I guess I'm all right.
There you go. Awesome. Well, boy, you got some challenges coming up then. Can't wait to see how you handle some of the stuff that's in the later challenges coming. That'll be fun. Yeah. So, Evan, so this is Sphere 2 for you, and you've been working hard on your website, and we've got it ready to go. I think there's a few little things we're going to touch on tonight, but nothing serious. This is more like an unveiling for everybody in the Arcanum, and when I post these videos, we'll get the Arcanum looking at them, and hopefully they'll come check out your website and everything too. But can you talk a little bit about your journey and maybe about Sphere 0 and Sphere 1 and kind of what what brought you to this point? And while you're talking, I'm going to show people your website. How's that?
Sure. So I started photography, probably 12 years ago or something like that. And I've done online YouTube learning and some of the Kelby One stuff. Kind of picked up what I could here and there and all that. And I was kind of thinking that something was still missing. I wasn't getting the quality that I wanted, and I wasn't sure what it was. And that's kind of when I found the Arcanum. And I started out in Bo Rogers' cohort, and I found a lot of good information through that. And a lot of it was really paying closer attention to details and zooming way in, finding stuff around the edges and all that, and then just getting to places at the right time to take pictures with better light. And so I really enjoyed Sphere 1, and I knew I needed to grow with the blogging and trying to get my work out there and marketing and that kind of stuff. And so it's been a challenge for me because I've never really been that great with all the words and stuff as far as writing. I'm generally kind of a to the point type of a person, just it takes a few words. And so I've been trying to explain myself better in my blogging and everything anyway, and I found that I have been my first few blogs were fairly 300 words. I was stretching to get that, and now generally I'm getting to 500 or 600 words, and it doesn't seem to be that hard, so I seem to be growing in that area.
Awesome.
And I just kind of mostly travel around Idaho here, wherever, whenever I have some free time, or a lot of times I get my shots on the way to work or the way after work or something. Live in a really pretty area, so I don't have to travel real far. And I plan on doing a lot more out in the woods this summer. So.
That's right. You're actually in Idaho, not Kansas. I'm thinking Kevin, who is in Kansas. You're in Idaho. You get the two of you guys mixed up all the time because you both came in at the same time. So I apologize for that. Yeah, Idaho still, though, you even have less blue skies, I think, right?
Yeah, pretty soon here, I think that the rain will give us a break. And, the rain's nice for the springtime. It makes everything green. But I'm a little tired of snow and rain right now, so I'd like to get out and ride my motorcycle.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, the bikes are just starting to wind up around here a little bit. I miss mine a little bit, but I wouldn't have the time to put into it these days. It just seems like there's no time. Hey, I want to ask you, that mill shot that's showing right now, is that here on the East Coast?
Yeah, that's in Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah, you actually, I've been to that mill and I have photos from there, and it was really cool to see that in your repertoire. And
Yeah.
do you get here to the East Coast much?
No, I've been a couple times. I own a Subway restaurant, and the first time I went to Milford, Connecticut, to their Subway training. And this time when I got that shot, I also have a car wash, and I was picking up some equipment in Kentucky. But I kind of looped around and saw where my ancestors were from in Georgia and Alabama. And then came back through Kentucky and Tennessee and all that, and kind of did a little tour.
Very cool. Well, we're looking at your website here, and we're kind of running through a few things, and we have you on the Paper House theme on WordPress. Just, kind of the same foundation that we've been starting everybody on. Obviously, the websites and everything over, the next couple of years and things may evolve, and you may switch up to something different or decide on a new theme, but you definitely have got this one tuned in nicely now. I love this. This is always my kind of favorite things to talk about are planes, and you got a great story here on fighters. This was in Death Valley. You got a chance to see some guys kind of running the valley out there, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I went down and met with several of the people from Bo Rogers' cohort and with Bo. And on the way, I stopped at this viewpoint, and it was kind of funny because I took some pictures. I got back to my pickup, put the camera away, and then I hear this jet fly through the canyon right below us. And I was like, wow, really? That's so and I heard somebody saying that it was a practice area or something. So I thought, well, they'll probably come back through. I'll wait, 10, 15 minutes and see. And I went back over there and waited, and one came through, and I got some pictures. Unfortunately, they were banking, and I just got pictures of the bottom of the plane, but then they looped around and came through again, so I got some video there.
Yeah, very cool.
It's pretty exhilarating seeing them go down and through there, banking around and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. We had gone to when I had gone out west to visit some of the cohort at Joshua Tree. We went to the Pima Air Museum, and while we were there were all sorts of fighter jocks flying from the Air Force Base there, and it was just unbelievable. There was I think at one point in time there was an F-16 and a Thunderbolt flying in tandem together, and they just, it was some crazy stuff. And we saw an F-22 and just amazing. A couple of P-51D Mustangs. And which I love, and just to, we come out of the museum thinking, wow, this was a great day at the museum, and all of a sudden there's these beautiful planes just tearing it up out there, and it's just, they're really something to see. It's something that just, I don't know, maybe it's the Star Wars kid in me or something, but when you see planes like this ripping through a natural scene, it really just is amazing. So. Yeah, and what a great opportunity to capture some film. I'd play this, but I know it doesn't play in the Hangout well. So other people will have to come to your website, which is not the Rustic Lens, but rusticlens.com. So if you guys are looking for that, and I'm going to say this. I said this about UC's site here the other night, and I'll say it about yours. Everybody needs to get in here. We have a lot of people in our cohort. At least those people need to get in here and subscribe. Folks, Evan will subscribe to your website, you subscribe to his. That's how it works. And remember, you might have signed up here, but when you do and you put your email in, okay, and you hit the subscribe button, it will send you an email, and then you have to agree to the email. So it didn't send me one because I already subscribed, but you have to okay that email once it comes to your inbox. So make sure you check your spam folder or whatever, but definitely join up, because the cool thing about these subscriptions, If you're unaware and you don't have this on your website, you need to have it on your website. So this is for all those people that aren't in our cohort. This is a thing that people sign up for. And when Evan writes a new story on his page, you get a little email box. It's really cool. It's like this little thing that says, hey, Evan's got a brand new story up. And it gives you a link, and it gives you a little excerpt that you can read. And then you can go and you can actually read the whole story. You can comment on it. You can share it with your friends. It just makes it so nice to be able to visit that way and get reminded that way than trying to find it in the stream of crazy things that you might have to look for to find it. Here's what it looks like right there. He just wrote a new story, which is a cool thing I want to talk about with you. But very cool, this new project that you're working on. We could talk about that a little bit. But there it is. That's what it is. And if I can comment from here, I can read more of the post and see all the photos and everything. So definitely go to his page. Definitely sign up, because it's very cool. And there's like 15, 16 other people in the cohort that you all have to sign up for, because I love it. I get up every morning and my email box is like filled up with amazing stories from all over the place. And I think it's also, this group that we have is a cool resource, right? Because I see new places all the time from all of you guys that I want to visit now. So I have this ever-growing bucket list because of all of you guys. And I think that's a kind of a side benefit we haven't really talked about yet, is that the thing that's cool about the Arcanum is having all these new photographer friends. We have places to go and visit. We've opened our doors here at our house. If anybody wants to visit the East Coast and they need a place to put their head while they visit, and they want to, photograph some waterfalls and all that kind of stuff, we have a guest room now, so people can come and they can visit, and they don't have to pay for lodging or whatever. So the bed's not all that great. Tony will tell you it's not a wonderful thing, but hey, any bed that you can rest on, right, is better than nothing, especially a free one. So we make sure the sheets and pillows and everything are clean. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, I think that's a side benefit that we don't talk about in the Arcanum much, is this wonderful network of people that we got going together. So tell me a little bit. Did you run a website before this?
No. Well, I had a Fine Art America site.
Right.
Just with prints and stuff, but not a blog or anything.
Gotcha. So you're doing this new project. Talk to me a little bit about Mile Posts, a personal project, and what that is.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's not good. There we go.
I helped start a little Facebook group, mostly here around this area, for photographers, and we started kind of doing some weekly challenges. So I was looking for something to do for a weekly challenge, and found this idea of taking a picture with a mile post in it, or a mile marker. And as I was out scouting and looking for something like that, I found that one on the very top. It's just down the hill from my house here, but and that picture actually, it came out pretty cool. It almost killed my computer, because I did a HDR and panorama, and I was using my laptop at that time. And it took me a few tries of doing that. But yeah, after doing that, that was just pretty cool, and it made me look around more whenever I was driving along, and I have to kind of watch myself to make sure I'm not gazing off too much.
Yeah.
But, you don't really see the stuff that you drive by every day. You just kind of get used to it being there, and you don't look. And this kind of made me look around more. And yeah, so whenever I see something cool, I try to pull off and get it. If I can get with a milepost in it, that's that much better.
Yeah, beautiful. I really like it. I love the idea, and we're always shooting around signs, right? We're always trying to remove them or anything. And this is just just kind of a great thing. I really like the slot. I'm going to ask you: is the group on Facebook, is it an open group or?
No, it's Yeah, you have to be invited, I guess. It's Camas Prairie photographers. So
Gotcha. I didn't know if it was like a, an active kind of just basic photography group or something where it was a group of people from an area or anything like that. So that makes sense. Very cool. Yeah, this is a great project, a great inspirational project to share. I'll share your post tomorrow. Since it's brand new here, we'll get that out into the network. Awesome. Very cool.
thank you.
And let's see, we got you on, you're on Tumblr, Flickr, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and YouTube. Awesome. Yes, you got some cool videos. People should subscribe also to your videos on YouTube. I am subscribed. I think it's great. I love this one. The 8-year-old reacts to a vintage camera. That's just so awesome. But you have a lot of really cool videos. I noticed that you have the new 360 camera that you're kind of messing with a little bit, right?
Yeah, and at first it was only. It seems like whenever you upload those to YouTube, it's just showing it at 360 or 360p or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, it must process more. Because I was really disturbed at first. I thought, oh, this quality is horrible, and it wouldn't let me switch it. But then later on, I was able to get better.
So what Evan's talking about is the video that he uploads doesn't upload at the right size at first, and that's YouTube has to. Now this is probably jumpy for everybody, but you can join his channel and see it for real. But what it is it's a 360 degree camera, and it's like a camera on a stick, and it films this all at once. So he's walking with the camera. You can see him holding it right there. And I'm able to scroll around in the video, which I think is maze, as the boss would say. I think it's so awesome. And yeah, and so yeah, this is kind of where technology is going, and where we're going to be after a while. I said that I can't wait till they come out with like the first movie, right? Where in the movie you can move to different nodes in the movie, and you can kind of move around and look at anything you want in the movie as it's going on, right? We'll wear a headset and we'll be able to look around. We'll be able to ride on the horse with the character, or like we are walking with Evan right here. Look at, there's Evan walking, and we can see where he's walking, and it's just like we're walking. So very cool technology. And I really think Evan, you should start doing this, I think, with your stories. I think people would love to be able to join your adventure, even if you're just getting out and you're talking. Look at you, daring man, jumping right in there with that horse. Oh, they're actually mules, though.
Yeah, that one's a mule. That's Dot.
That's a horse right there.
Buttercup is the horse. She's kind of a butthead.
Now, are these your horses?
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, since they're yours, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
If they were the neighbor's horses, I would say you're crazy, man. But they know you, and you're a little leery of the, what's that thing you're waving around?
Yeah, he likes my wife better. I don't know. I bought him for me, but it likes her better. So
I spent this past summer, I spent my first bit of time with Ron Clifford, and we went and we shot at a farm, and the lady had like 8 horses, and she let them all out at once, right? And and then she turns us out into the field with them. And I was never so scared in my entire life. And I was brought up around horses, when I was younger. It's like I haven't been around them a lot as an adult. And so for me, it was trying to get, they didn't know me, I didn't know them. And it's so amazing, the relationship. Like, it's, they're very much like people. And it just blew me away. And how the one of the horses was very was kind of the protector of everybody, or at least he thought he was, even though the other horses were like, dude, we don't really care. He was making sure his presence was known, and he would approach me and then turn away, and he would run, like he was gonna gallop by me and then go in the opposite direction. And then by the time we were all done, he actually, he came up to me at the end and kind of accepted me into the group. And that was really amazing, but But seriously, they put the fear into you when you don't know, because they're big and very powerful.
Yeah, like 1,000 pounds and...
Yeah. And they can knock you around just with their head. I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing. It can break your nose quite easily. So, but yeah, they were really awesome. And yeah, that was amazing. So you got a beautiful place here, man.
oh, thanks.
Very cool. Yeah, I think you
Maybe
need to
some
do more of
cleanup
this. Like when you go out to shoot, do some of this video, man. Very cool. Very cool.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So.
Yeah, I think live on the scene with Evan Jones while he shoots would be awesome. Like that way, or you're not really live on the scene, but I'm always struggling when I go out into the field. I want to share what I'm doing with everybody in the hangouts and all that kind of stuff, but it's really hard to do that and shoot at the same time. Like you're like, I don't know, if I had an assistant or something maybe, but I think you should include some of those videos and talk about that a little bit. Maybe even, I know we've discussed this before. You're kind of exempt out there, right, from the Amazon department?
No.
Do they?
I did have Amazon on there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell you it's probably me, actually. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's probably me.
Oh, yeah, ad blockers.
Yep. Which brings me to the next part of the story. So if you do a story on the camera, right, and talk a little bit, maybe feature the camera in one of your stories, links to the product within your story are very important. You'll get more folks to click on that and buy things than you will the banner ads on the sides. We get so used to these banner ads that a lot of people don't click on them, unfortunately. And they're okay to be there. That's fine. If someone sees something that interests them, they will click it. But definitely, when you talk about pretty much anything that you can buy on Amazon, whether it be if you use Topaz in any of this stuff and you mention Topaz up here, you want to use your affiliate links to go to Topaz, put that right in your story. And that's going to get you sales. I guarantee it'll get you sales. But even if you're talking about, I'm just trying to see if there's anything here that I can target on for you. So go through the story real quick. You could talk a little bit about your camera because you're doing that, carrying that around with you. Or what lens that you used. A lot of photographers, that's an easy way into it. If you use a specific lens, list the lens and then a link to where you can put that right under your photo, actually, and then a link to where they can get it on Amazon. And you'll be surprised people who will actually click on those links and buy things because they saw your photo and they like the quality of the shot, that sort of thing. So just something to think about.
I've done that on a couple of the other posts.
Oh, great.
Like I know on that one with the canola, I was talking about my vintage lenses and stuff, and even linked to the eBay.
Yeah, right there. There you go, right on Amazon. Perfect. Good deal. Yeah, more of that, man. There you go. Look at this. All over the place. Great. That's a great example. Yeah, keep that up for sure.
Go buy the Sony camera.
What's that?
I said, everybody go and buy the Sony A7R II now.
That's right. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing too. We talk a little bit about the gear. I mean, I don't know if I see these kind of shots and I'm looking for a new camera, this is going to interest me, I think. And when I see this sort of stuff, but don't be afraid, like here where you have the Sony 24, don't be afraid to link that. If you can find the Zeiss Contaflex lenses, you can link those. You can do more than just one link. It's okay to actually populate your post with a few links. So, but great start on it for sure. Keep doing that. And I will guarantee you at some point you will see some income from that. The other thing I suggest to everybody, if you have pieces of equipment that you like, you don't have to be Bill Nye the Science Guy in order to do a review of a piece of equipment. I tell people, review it in a real world. I don't like to do, personally myself, I don't like to do reviews that are too scientific. If I use a product, I'll tell people why I like it. If there's things I don't like about it, why maybe I selected this over what somebody else suggested. I've got to do a review coming up on some ND filters, and I'm going to talk about like kind of like how I chose my first filter and why, and it was recommended to me a certain way and I went that direction, but how I discovered later on that, everything seemed right at the time, but now I've found something that's even better and less expensive. And I just thought what do I want to say? I kind of equated that the high price with an ND filter meant that it must be great. So,
Right.
And I found out completely different. And I did to date, my most popular story on my website is for the Ice ND filter. And I was just checking that on Amazon, and I've got a check from Amazon coming for $75 from sales of that filter alone from a single story on my website. And it hasn't been spread around on shared a lot. It's really just been organically from SEO and from my site. So those types of reviews and stuff are always a good thing, especially if you're like you said, something that you sparked there when we first started talking about writing. And I'm not good at it at all. Everything that I've learned has been from doing it on the website. And even when it came to writing music, I just wasn't very good at it, and had a hard time writing big stories and that sort of thing. But I just kept bullying my way through it until I was able to, figure out what I was doing wrong and figure all that out. So I think we should kind of share that same journey together. I'm still learning about writing and what works and what doesn't, and how not to say too much or too little, or kind of speak from my heart, right? It's hard to type and still speak what's in your brain, because your brain tends to go like that, and your typing goes like that. and like your brain is like, will you get done with it already? Because I'm already onto something new. So that, I think that's a stumbling block for a lot of people. And in this day and age, my buddy does a lot of writing, Walter, and he gets around it because he uses Dragon Natural Speaking app to record his words, and then it doesn't get it right perfectly. But what it does do is it gets all of that idea kind of puked out onto paper, so that then he can go back and edit it. And it's much simpler for him to just talk about the place that he went and the feelings that he had, and then sort that out on paper afterwards. So there's all sorts of different kind of cool techniques in that writing thing. And maybe that's something too in the cohort we need to address a little bit, is that roadblock of writing. Because I know you and I are not the only ones there who have struggled with that. So very cool. I like everything I'm seeing here, man. Everything's we kind of hammered a lot of this stuff out. We got we'll take a look at your about page. Oh, that's a cool photo right there. Where was that taken?
That's just up on a ridge, kind of on the other side of the valley below our place.
All right, I really don't like
a lot of wildflowers.
I really don't like.
I'll take you around.
That's cool. Awesome. Great. You got a link here to the Arcanum. Great. Is this your affiliate link here, my friend?
No, probably not. I didn't know there was one.
Yes. So if you go to your app, all of you guys that are in the Arcanum, if you're going, this is a great idea, by the way, Evan. I'll give you props for putting this in here. I miss a lot of, like, you guys are doing like the smug mug links on your page, so you're getting like 20% off your bill and all this stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. I miss out on some of this stuff. But this is a great idea. And what you can do with this link is, if you go to the app and you go to your profile page, there is a link that says that if you give people the link, they get a sign up bonus or something like that. So you can actually embed that, I think, here. Like, I don't have it, but I think you probably have it.
Cool.
You have to check your page. But if you can do that, definitely make that link into clickable so that you get, if they join, you get a little bit of credit there. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job. You got your statement on here. Cool. Let's take a look at your contact page. Hey, All right.
That's
Great.
actually served me whenever I was like probably 3 or 4.
That's great, dude. Love it. All right. Great. Everything looks good, man. Good job. So how is your so right now you're doing the are you doing the next scripts and all of that? Have you got all of that implemented and working?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm using all that, and I'm not getting a lot of action off of anything, mostly like Facebook and a tiny bit out of Google Plus, but I've been working on building the Instagram following right now, like the last couple of weeks. And I did start a collection on Google Plus, so I'm gonna try to work on that.
I just moved your page off for just a second. I'm going to sign in to your page for quick. Just for instead of having me edit this and post, it's much easier. You guys just look at that photo of Yosemite while I sign in, and we're going to just do that. And then we're going to look down here at this. All right. So right now it looks like you've got a single Google Plus page, you've got a single Facebook page, you got your Instagram going. And what I want to look at, for all you folks that are on the Instagram setup, I will let you know Instagram is going to, the API is going to run out in August. So I pay for a group site license API for Instagram, and it is going to be $50 for the API in that takes place in August, I believe. So what we're going to decide at that point is that everybody who's in the cohort who's interested in continuing to post to Instagram, they have a couple of options. One is that they can apply for the API themselves, which I think is kind of would be crazy to do, but you can do that if you want. And it's going to cost you, I'll give you a link you can go sign up for, and it's going to be $50 a year. It's a subscription thing that you have to pay. Or I think the better way to go is that if everybody wants to use it, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to use it, we can all group together and pay about $5 a piece, and then we can all use it for a year. So, and that's what I'm going to suggest to everybody. But it'll be, it'll be up to you whether you want to continue on, whether or not. I love the API, and I'm going to buy it whether you guys decide to go in on it or not. So, it'll be there. But I think the greatest thing with it is just that it saves so much time to be able to post to Instagram from my website. One of the things I want to show everybody, this is kind of something new. So if everybody's been following along in critiques and they haven't watched this one yet, this is the first time I'll show everybody else, but we've kind of talked about this before, but this is a cool feature. And this is under settings, and then the social networks auto poster, and then the tab at the top is new posts to social networks. This is really awesome because you can actually make a post here that is not a post on your website. This is just, I don't want to do a website post. I just want to post a photo that I took that's not part of a story or anything like that. I want to post that to my social media networks. I want to share it everywhere. And I don't want to share it to each site individually, and I don't want to use IFTTT or any of that stuff. Well, your website can do it for you automatically. And what you could do is you basically come to your media, you upload your photo to your media library, and you grab a link there. You paste that link here in the image post. So you'd paste that. And then you write your title and your message. And then you come down here and you click all of the networks that you want to send it to, and then post it, and it'll go out to all the networks. And it's a fire and forget thing. So you're going to do that, but your post is nowhere but on your social media networks. That's the only place it will be. It won't be on WordPress. It won't save it. It's just a kind of a one-shot deal. I'm also going to tell everybody too, I want you all to be very careful in your social media networks. I'm going to do this for you, Evan, right now. But down here at the bottom, under WP-based blog, this is used to transfer stories to Travel Obscura, which is a website that we're going to be launching here quite soon. Be very careful when you folks are doing new posts. If it's not a travel-based post, please do not send it over to Travel Obscura, because I have no way of stopping them for going on the front page. So I think Jason posted the other day a Minolta camera story, and that went to the front page of the travel magazine, which is cool because I like the idea of having gear talk over there, but I don't think we can make it an automated process where we can just post and it automatically goes there. So what happens when everybody creates a new post, underneath the next scripts on that post page, you can either turn it off here on the main page and it'll be off for every post that you do. That's one option. That means you have to remember to turn it on when you want to include a story over on Travel Obscura. That would be my method. That's what I do. I turn it off here, and then on each post, if I want to add a post, I turn it on at the time I publish the post. Or underneath your posts themselves, go over to the post page, and when you look at a post over here, you can turn it off on all the posts you don't want to go individually. So like at the bottom here, you'll see the next scripts listing. And what you need to do is come to the bottom here, this one, and actually turn it off here so that it doesn't auto post. So you've got yours set up that way. That's fine. And that's the way that I like to do it. I don't like to have it on for every post. If I want it to go when I do a new post, then I will do it manually. So this has already been posted, so you can see here. That's the other thing too. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have older posts and you didn't have next scripts going, you can actually go to the post as you're editing it, and you can actually post it manually. You can manually post it to your social media networks. So, and the other thing that we haven't talked about, except for with UC on his page, is that the reposter. So there's two parts of next scripts. There's an auto poster, which happens at the point of publishing your post. That means when you publish, it goes out and auto posts to all of the networks that you have added. And then there is an auto reposter. And what that does is it creates a pool of posts and randomly spits them out to your social media networks and reminds people that maybe they haven't seen a story or something like that, and it becomes new to them. Even though it's an old story, it becomes new to them. And that just basically gets things in the stream a little bit more so that folks who missed it the first time will get a chance to see it on the second go around. And that's pretty much all there is to next scripts. And don't worry if you didn't get all of that. We are recording, but also we haven't really got into all that kind of stuff. You really need, before anybody turns auto reposting on, you need to have at least 55 to 60 stories written. So for a lot of folks, it's a long ways off, and that's fine. But I don't want you to arm it earlier, because if you arm it earlier, what happens is you know, your stories recirculate too quickly and people catch on, and they're like, you know, suddenly it's too much for them if they see their streams being flooded with the same thing over and over. So, all right, Evan, any questions at all on your website that I can answer since you have me here right now?
Well, I was kind of curious, you know, I was thinking about doing some reviews and possibly some tutorial software stuff. Should I have like another page for those, or just tag them where people would go to tag? Or
yeah, so my thought on this, and again, generally I will look at who's the most successful, and I will take that and adopt it to my thing. And so I look towards Trey. He's very successful with his reviews and his revenue streams. And one of the things that he does is he includes his tutorials, he includes his reviews right on his front page, right along with his travels and everything else. And that's great, because that's basically, if people want to find something, they know how to search for something. They'll look for it and sort it out themselves. I think that where we have a lot of mistakes made is when we pre-sort things for people. And I just want to talk about that a little bit. So what pre-sorting does is, it's nice for you and it's nice for people who are like you, but it's not nice for everybody. Not everybody likes to have things sorted that certain way. For every person who says that's great and I can find things easily, there'll be 10 people who will be like, I couldn't find it anywhere on the page. And it mystifies you. I know it does me. For years, I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't have made it any easier. How come you couldn't find it? And then, they would say, well, I'm used to finding something here. And that's what we do as humans. We use what we're used to, and makes it hard to see other things and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, I tell, people, if it's like when you have tools in your garage and someone uses a tool and doesn't put it back in the place where you keep it all the time, you can never find that tool again until they show you that they put it on the bench and that's not where you were looking for it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what happens, right? We have things in our heads and that's the way it is. So I would say that it's okay to have a page that you can go to sort things out. But I think that it's also very important to make sure that you include those stories in the mix on your front page here where we have all this other stuff. Have a review in here. What I did on my page is I changed up what my headers look like. So that was my for people who wanted to skim through my stuff really fast and find things. What I did is I gave each of my reviews a simple look that people could find things quickly with. So the whole idea, if I can get my page to load here while I'm doing a hangout and sucking down all this bandwidth. Oh, we can go down there. No, not gonna let me get down there. All right, well, we'll let that load up real quick. But what I did is just put it in Photoshop and I make a little header, a little banner sort of thing. So you can see here, there's my banner for new gear reviews. So, and I also have a page, and I used a little plugin that sorts out to tabs the different things that I'm going to review. And what it does is these tabs are sorted by category. So I have a category called modern gear. I have a category called vintage gear and a category called software in my posts. Even though they're all going to appear on the front page, that allows me to sort these out so that I can display just what I want to show in those tabs. So that allows people to kind of view them how they want to. And as far as tutorials go, I don't have a special place for them on my list. I am just basically putting all of my tutorials that I do on YouTube, and I'm kind of going in that direction on YouTube. And if I have a tutorial that I'm going to include, I'll just put it in here in the stories for now. Most of my teaching, though, is a little different because I'm doing it on the Arcanum. So where I have an upwards of 700 videos in YouTube, they're all kind of private because most of them are for the Arcanum. And I've been trying to think of a way of monetizing that part of it into courses or something like that people will pay for, and then they'll get the videos. I'm not sure yet how I want to handle that. I mean, the Arcanum is my income right now, and I'm pretty set with that, so I don't really need to generate that. But there are some good stories out there that I can pass along. If you're interested in doing a course for people or anything like that, that will monetize tutorials for your website. And it's very simple to do, and it's quite stunning. The procedure that I read amazed me because they were in probably shouldn't say this too loudly, but they were like, okay, so say you want to do a waterfall workshops tutorial course. It's going to teach you all about, don't sit down and try to plan out the entire course and then release it. Actually, if you want to do it, put it out there now. And I'm like, what? With no materials? What? That's crazy. But they're like, and let people know that this is a course that you're working on, and all of that honesty and everything, give them a little bit of a break on the price, and it will build into a much better thing than just going out at, because most people will be like, they don't know me. They don't know, why are they going to take a chance on spending X amount of dollars on my course just based on a couple of photos that I might be showing? I mean, that, so opening it up to a course where it's a fairly decent price, and you guys are growing and learning with me, I think is much more attractive that way. So I've got a link that I can send you if you're interested in doing something like that for everybody. Actually, I'll post it in the community where everybody can see it. But I think it's a really, really cool thing that that a lot of people could take advantage of and do that with tutorials. But as far as like reviews go, you can have a category for that up here. And what you actually do is you add a menu item as a category. So I'll just show you guys how that works. We haven't really gotten into how to alter or add. Whoa! Look at those hits you got right there, Mister. Yeah. Look at that.
Doing good here, then.
Yeah, new stories, good stuff. When you want to add something to your menu at the top, if you create a page, you can do that. It will not add it to the menu. It will add it to the menu list where you can then add it to the menu, but it doesn't make it live. And that's a good thing because if you're trying to experiment and get things the way you want to, in this case, you don't really have to create any page for a reviews section. What you do is come up here to posts and then to categories. And then when that loads up, you've got all this stuff here. All right, so we're just going to do gear. You can change this to whatever you want. So if everybody's watching this and wants to learn how to do this, this is pretty easy to do. Your slug can't have any spaces or anything in it, so we'll just keep that like that. And then you add that category. Now that won't show up anywhere. That's just a new category that when you create a new post, you can click on that category to go ahead and link it to that post. It'll still appear on your front page. Everything will be cool. But that will assign that category to the post. So when you create a new post, you click that off to the side like you do with all the other ones. And then to add it to your main screen, you'll come to menus. And then view all. Whoops, I'm sorry. Down to categories and then view all. All right. And you can see gear reviews just appeared at the top. If I click that and add it to the menu, I now have gear reviews, and they will appear when I save this on your front page. So now we'll go to your front page, and boom, gear reviews appears at the top. And when you click this, it will give you a full menu, a full blog list of all gear reviews that you have tagged in those posts. All right.
Cool.
So we'll go ahead and take that off for now, and then when you're ready to do it, when you've got a couple of gear reviews done, you can go ahead and add that yourself, however you want to. All right. Okay. Or you can ask me again if you don't remember. Whatever you want to do, I'll help you with it. So pretty simple. We'll go there. And then just to get rid of this, we'll just remove, save, and it's all back to normal.
Cool.
That's all there is to it.
Easier than I thought.
Yep, a lot easier. Now, what I do is I actually have a page. I didn't like that listing because I didn't like the way it was. So what I created was a reviews page. So I created a page and I used a plugin, the short codes, the Nico short codes to create a, let me show you what I did, to create a tabbed view. So I got this plugin, and I can give you this too. If you like this format, with all of this stuff, you guys go to my website and you like anything that's on it, just steal it and use it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's all good. So I have this list category post. This is a plugin that I use. And it just makes a little short code that I can use in my pages. So if I go to all pages, and you can see my reviews page and how that's set up. Now you can see a lot of pages here that you guys don't get to see. These are all works in progress or something that I'm doing. And they don't appear until I add them to the menu. So here's the reviews page. And on the reviews page, you can see that I have my little banner at the top, and then I've got these tabs set up. And you can see that I have the tab title and then the cat list. That's from that plugin. So it's just a cat list, and then I use the slug in order to pull posts from that category. It's as simple as that. So we're just basically writing this little bit of code to do that. So if you get to that point and you really you'd like to have a setup similar to this, we can just copy the code over and you can go for it. And I'll just change the tabs to, whatever you want them to be. So, yeah.
Cool.
pretty simple. I have not. One of my areas that I really want to do a lot of work in, and I have not been able to get to it because I need to get my SEO and everything else right over here, and I don't have any of that set up. This SEO thing here should all be the right length and everything, and it's not. And I need also to have like a thing especially set up for Facebook when I post there and all that kind of stuff, and I just haven't had a chance to get to that. So it's the least important part, even though it's pretty much one of the most important parts of my website that I can get to. So that's how it goes. So right now, getting all you guys going is way more important. So, all right. Anything else, sir, that I can help you with?
No.
Awesome. Well, great job. And like I've said for everybody else, it just makes me extremely proud when, like I said, I get up in the morning and my email box is full of awesome stories from all of you guys. And I'm hoping that, the Travel Obscura thing will also add some more traffic to all of us when we open up that tap on Google Collections and start filtering them through the Travel Obscura site, and then obviously to all of our sites from there. Hopefully that will also bump up everybody's traffic as well. In the meantime, on your social media network, I'm pretty sure you're already doing this, but remember 85% or 75%, 25%. So 75% share your fellow cohorts and your people that you are networking with outside of the cohort, share their stuff on your Facebook and Google Plus and all of that. And then 25% is including your stories in that mix. And it doesn't matter how often you post during the day too. People ask me about that. Should I post like 2 times a day or 3 times a day? Well, if you do the math, you should post 3 of other people's posts and 1 of your own. That's 25, 25, 25, and 25, right? That makes 100%. But you can divide that up however you want. So if you go 8, then you're going to go 6 of other people's posts and 2 of your own, that sort of thing. If you can kind of keep to that pattern, you're going to see a big increase in your traffic because other people will share your work as well. So that's the kind of the key behind that social network building thing. And when we get to these next stages, I'm going to write a little thing about a few things to work on for your next challenge, which is, you'll see that when I update you. And then the challenge after that, we're going to start digging into analytic data and show you how that works. And then you're going to start being able to kind of see what people are doing a little bit better on your website. So that'll give you some insights too.
Okay.
Cool beans. All right, everybody, make sure you go to rusticlens.com and sign up, right? Sign up and then verify after you do. 3 people. I know there's like 3 viewers right now. Y'all better signed up. I can see you there.
I already had 3.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And one of them was me. So I know that the 3 viewers, there's still one of you watching right now that isn't signed up. You better get over there and sign up because I'm going to ask Evan who's on his subscription list, and then I'm going to track all the rest of you down. So that's the way that's going to be. Everybody needs to be subscribed to everyone else. That's how it works. Strength in numbers, my friends. All right. Cool beans, Evan. Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. I am going to stop doing that and say thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. And Evan and I will catch you over in the Travel Obscura bat phone and in the community and for the next critique or unveiling. All right. Thanks, guys.